Researchers have now turned mercury into gold and solved alchemy again. But what makes it different this time is that Marathon Fusion, the startup behind, says they could make hundreds of millions of dollars worth of gold every year. So the process starts with taking the element that sits right next to gold on the periodic table, mercury. Now the thing about mercury is that it naturally has a lot of isotopes. They're basically atoms with the same number of protons but different numbers of neutrons. So Marathon Fusion took mercury 198, which has 80 protons, one more proton than gold, and 118 neutrons, and placed it in something called a deuterium-tritium (DT) fusion reactor. Now in that reactor, two heavy forms of hydrogen were fused together to create neutrons with very high energy. These high energy neutrons then slam into mercury 198 atoms, knock out exactly one neutron from it, and turn it into mercury 197. But here's the thing about mercury 197. It still has 80 protons. So it's mercury, but now it's highly unstable. So it naturally starts decaying in a process called electron capture, where one of its protons pulls in a nearby electron and fuses with it to become a neutron. And with this, the number of protons reduces from 80 to 79, effectively turning mercury into gold. Now, experiments like this have been done before, but what's different this time is scale. Marathon Fusion estimates that a single fusion power plant could create 2 to 5 tons of gold per year, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But of course, there are challenges. The new gold is radioactive, so it needs around 17 years to become completely safe. Plus, separating mercury 198 from natural mercury takes extra work. But what's important is that the physics is there. All that's left for debate is if it's economically worth it or not.